Here we are. Week 11 for college football, Friday Night Lions, week 10 for the NFL. We're back, cracking a beer. Just got back from dinner with some friends, the wife before she has a baby. Got to get some drinking in. Only got about a month to go. We are back. Wasn't here last week, but I put my picks out on the old Twitter sphere. Hold on, I gotta put my tweet out there so people join. Just come join in the chat. Hashtag fucking gamblers, right? We are back with another episode of Friday Night Lions. I missed you fuckers. I missed you so much. You have no idea. It's my favorite part of Fridays. Let's talk about gambling. If I could talk about gambling, I'm one of the happiest people on earth. So as long as I can gamble, people can call me a loser in the chat. Can highlight it on here for everybody to see. What a great picture that person has. What a cool guy that calls me a loser. But I get to talk about gambling. Like I said, we're pregnant, about to have a baby. Gotta enjoy having some drinks. So pretty soon I'm not gonna have any sleep. I'm gonna be tired all the time. I'm gonna be struggling to do this, but I'm here for the people. I'm here for the people. I'm here to give out winners. I haven't given out a lot of winners lately, but I'm feeling really good about the board tonight. I'm feeling some dogs for college football this week. I'm really excited about college football. I've got some dogs on there. Lots of home dogs I liked. I kind of love the board with the home dogs this week. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the home dogs. Grab a beer, join in the winners, and let's get after it. Let's just start it out. I've got, let me get the college plays here scrolling on the bottom. Beautiful. Let's go. Let's start with college football. Let's get some winners. Let me update you with my overall record. 21-23 overall, 4-4 last week in college football. Really bad in the NFL. I've been terrible in the NFL. Very bad. It's time to turn around. Maybe fade me. Do whatever you want. But I'm just here to have a good time, entertain, and get some fucking picks. All right? NFL, I'm 13-24. I'm embarrassed. 13-24 overall last week. 2-4. Wasn't a good week. Wasn't a good week in the NFL. I've been about 500 in college. I'm feeling like I'm just about to get over that 500 edge. And there's nothing better to bet on than college football, is there? It's by far the best thing in the world. So let's jump into the college football plays this week. As you see scrolling on the bottom, right below me here, we're going to start out. I was waffling. I didn't want to bet. I was like, Michigan seems like the right pick. They're playing well. They're the only team that kind of bounced back last week, beat the crap out of Indiana. Now they got Penn State. In Penn State, Penn State's 1.5 point dogs at home. It feels like the Big Ten is one of the more confusing conferences in the world. And this just feels like Penn State's looked bad. Sean Clifford has not been good. Their defense is really good. It feels like everybody and their mom's going to be on Michigan. It feels like Michigan's the right side for that. And I did this last week with Purdue and it hit. For that reason, I'm gonna bet Penn State. I don't like it. I really don't like it, but because everything tells me to bet Michigan, and that's where I get scared. Vegas knows too much, and this tells me like, smash Michigan. Don't do it. Jump on Penn State. This is a rat line. Do not take the cheese. Just bet Penn State. You're not gonna love it. You're not gonna like it, but in the end, it's gonna pay off. Because you're not comfortable. Goes back to my old adage is I'm not comfortable unless I'm uncomfortable. I'm very uncomfortable betting Penn State, which makes me more comfortable because I know that's what Vegas wants me to feel. Penn State plus 1.5, take it. Probably should be my most confident game because it's my least confident game. Louisville -3 versus Syracuse. They're knocking on the door of a bowl game. Malik Cunningham has been electric. If he plays the entire game against Clemson last week, they win. They still should have won, but he came out for about a quarter and a half maybe. And the offense, that quarterback that came in to replace Malik Cunningham for that quarter was awful. He couldn't. He didn't have the legs. He did not threaten the Clemson defense near as enough. He was bad. He was inaccurate, making bad decisions, and it's nerve-wracking coming against a really good defense. They should have won that game. Syracuse is not a very good team. Louisville at home, -3. I will lay those 3 points easily at home. Going for that bowl game. They want that bowl game, and Malik Cunningham's in his last year. And that motherfucker, he's electric. He's fast. He's fun to watch. I love Malik Cunningham of Louisville. I consistently bet I consistently bet I consistently bet Georgia on a weekly basis. And I really don't like Tennessee either. But Tennessee catching 20 points at home versus Georgia, that's too rich for my blood. They're not going to win. But 20 points against an offensive team that game against Kentucky, I mean, Kentucky would take 8 minutes to score. It was back and forth. And then Tennessee would score in 5 seconds. And then Kentucky would take 8 minutes to score, and Tennessee would score in 5 seconds. And Kentucky's a good defense. Tennessee had no problem scoring on them. Josh Heupel, it looks like he's been a good coach. Tennessee plus 20. They can keep it within 20. They do have enough offense. Although Georgia is the best defense in the league, Tennessee does have enough offense to cover this spread. Georgia's going to win, but 20 is too much. Take that 20 points with Tennessee and win that game. This is another one where I felt like I should have taken Texas A&M. Ole Miss plus 2.5 versus Texas A&M. Again, another home game. Home dog. Ole Miss plus 2.5. I felt like I should have taken Texas A&M, but I'm going to jump on Ole Miss plus 2.5. Ole Miss has been weird on fourth downs. They've been going for it constantly on 4th down and 1. And Lane Kiffin might be the worst 4th down and 1 caller in the history of the universe. He just isn't good at it. They keep running the same damn run play or a stupid, weird looking play action that it draws out too long and it just gets stuffed, or they're throwing the ball off the back foot. Matt Corral, who's potentially the best quarterback in college football. Weird year of college football, by the way. I couldn't even. Who's the best offensive player in college football right now? Who is it? I don't understand. My guy likes Tennessee by 7. That's crazy. Georgia's far and away the best team in college football. It's Georgia than everybody else. And Ole Miss, not Ole Miss, not old. Ole Miss, OLE, Ole Miss all the way. Matt Corral. Texas A&M has been playing awesome ever since they beat Bama. They've been on the rise. They've been unbelievable. They've been really fucking good. And 2.5 points, again, it seems like a rat line. It doesn't seem like it seems like Texas A&M should be favored by a little more. I understand that it's at Ole Miss. I get it. Feels like everybody's going to ride TAMU. Let's jump on Ole Miss. Let's jump on Matt Corral. Let's trust the best quarterback, or maybe second best. I think Sam Howell's the best quarterback in college football. But let's jump on arguably the best quarterback in college football. Let's ride Ole Miss plus 2.5 at home. I love the home dogs this week. There's nothing better than a good fucking home dog. Nothing better. There's nothing better than riding a good home dog in college football. It's fun. Wake Forest minus 1.5 versus NC State. That's just an automatic for me. I bet Wake Forest as much as possible. I did bet North Carolina against them too, not last week, but the week before. Hit that one. I was correct. Jumping back on the Wake Forest. The Waken of Wake Forest. They'll win. They'll cover. They'll beat NC State at home minus 1.5. That'll be an easy win. That'll be my lock. Wake Forest is my favorite pick of the weekend. Minus 1.5 versus NC State. And lastly, Virginia plus 5.5. Again, at home versus Notre Dame. Virginia, what the fuck's his name? Brennan Armstrong, is it? Quarterback for Virginia versus Jack Cohen and Notre Dame. Again, they've been good. And they keep kind of like vaulting up Cincinnati. By Notre Dame continuing to win, they keep vaulting up Cincinnati's resume, even though Cincinnati has looked subpar. They took a huge lead against South Florida tonight and then just stopped playing. They just haven't blown people out, and they're giving the committee more reasons to leave them out of the playoff. But Virginia is a solid ACC football team. Notre Dame isn't a team that's just like going to blow anybody away. I think I like Virginia on the money line. I'm going to give you the 5.5, but I would sprinkle some of that money line. Virginia. I think Virginia can win this game. They're a good football team. Dealing with the cold too, but still drinking. See, I mean, that's how if you have a cold and you're not drinking, then are you even trying? Beer is how you cure sicknesses. That's what I always say. All right, let's jump into the college football. I feel really good. I say this a lot, but I love the home dogs. There's a lot of home dogs I like. It feels like home dog weekend after looking at the board. Just ride with me. I promise you, ride with me in college football. I've been right on that 500. I'm just scratching the edge. Ride with me. I'm fine if you tail me, or you fade me in the NFL, okay? I've been terrible. You're more than welcome to fade me, but I'm going to give you my picks anyways. Eventually, I'm going to hit. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I went a little crazy this week because I think I had 6 in the college football. 7 plays this week for the NFL. We are going. Let's start off with my first game. I like the Browns plus 2.5 at the Patriots. It looks like Chubb has a chance to play. I think the Patriots are going to be overhyped. They're still like the 7th seed in the AFC. AFC is really bad. Browns are significantly better without Odell Beckham. Speaking of, I'm real glad the Packers. I'm not real glad, but I am more than okay with the Packers not ending up with them and tickling those little balls to make him happy to come play for Green Bay. We're not begging Odell Beckham Jr. to come play. He's not Randy Moss. Either you come play because you want to, or you don't, because we're gonna be there in the end, and you're gonna be watching us. That's what it comes down to. But I like the Browns plus 2.5. Chubb looks like he's gonna play. I think Myles Garrett's going to wreak havoc on Mac Jones. He's a scary guy. He can ruin games. I think the Browns win this game straight up in New England. I'm not too worried about that one. I really am not worried. I actually feel confident in that one. Maybe that's wrong. I just feel like so many people are going to be the Patriots after their last couple of games, but they're just a weird team. They have a good defense. Offense isn't anything too exciting, but yeah, I'm not. People are overhyping this football team, and there's no reason to do it. It's not Tom Brady anymore. He's not there. They're not that Super Bowl team. Mac Jones is not Tom Brady. Everybody fucking relax and just jump off that goddamn hype train. Just knock it off. I'm done with it. I like the Titans minus 2.5 versus the Saints. Tannehill was sick today, but he will be playing on Sunday. The Titans defense should dominate this game. They've been turning people over. They've been sacking people out of nowhere. And the Saints are coming in with, now I'm blanking on the damn Trevor Siemian. Alvin Kamara is not playing. If you can get him at 2.5, which is what I did on Wednesday, I believe it was, it probably has moved up. It's probably 3.5 points. If you can get it at 2.5, absolutely smash it with the news of Alvin Kamara potentially not playing because he's been out the last couple of practices. Trevor Siemian's at quarterback. It's a disaster. It's a disaster. The Saints are a disaster. The Titans defense should be able to score some points. Ryan Tannehill's been hot. A.J. Brown's been hot. Julio's there, but they look like the best team in the AFC right now, which is weird. It's weird because they don't look great. They look good. But who's better? Baltimore sure as hell doesn't look like it. Chiefs sure as hell aren't up there. Buffalo played crappy. They're probably still the answer. But right now, Tennessee's the best team in the NFL. In the AFC, not the NFL. There's multiple teams in the NFC better. Game number 3, I like the Falcons-Cowboys over. I've been terrible on my over-under picks. Just seems like a game where the Cowboys obviously bounced back after that dud they put up last week against the Broncos. Those 16 points were all garbage time. Didn't matter. 2-point conversions. Nothing. It was bullshit. But they'll bounce back. They'll score against a pretty bad Atlanta defense. And Matt Ryan's been good with Kyle Pitts, with Cordero Patterson. No Calvin Ridley, still scoring points. Matt Ryan he's still been solid. I hate Matt Ryan with a passion, but he's going to score points. He's going to score some points every now and then. Not going to win, but he's going to put them up. I think they can go over this 55, and I think the Cowboys just need to, and McCarthy, after that stinker, they need to just put it on. It feels like a college football game where they just need to prove it. They just need to put on a lot of points on a team after that bad loss. Throat's dry. Game number 4, Vikings plus 3 at the Chargers. I was looking at the Chargers and Vikings. I think the Vikings have been in 7 one-score games, and the Chargers have been in 6 one-score games. So whoever's the dog here, 3 points, I'm going to take the dog. There's no way that this is any more than a field goal game. Somebody's kicking a game-winning field goal at the end of regulation, or at the end, or at some point in overtime. You've got to take the dog here. Vikings play everybody close. Chargers play everybody close. Chargers probably win by 1 or 2 points. The Vikings have become the new Chargers. It just doesn't make any sense to not take the Vikings in this case. Packers minus 3.5 versus Seattle. That's an automatic pick for me every week. I just give it to you. The Packers are just winners. They cover. They covered with Jordan Love playing terrible quarterback against the Chiefs, who the game should have been. We gave them free 9 points on special teams, right? They fumbled the punt return, which somehow the Chiefs only got a field goal out and then missed 2 field goals. One blocked, one missed. That's 9 points. 9 points on special teams that they essentially gave up. If they make those 2 field goals, it's a tie game with a chance to win. Chiefs are bad, but the Packers just cover. They're covering machines. They cover over and over again. Game number 6, Eagles +3 at Denver. Again, this is like one of those games where you go on the opposite reaction. Denver just dominated Dallas. They ran the ball. Everybody's going to be excited to bet Denver after that showing. Like, oh, maybe they're actually good. Teddy Bridgewater's the quarterback. Albeit, they did give Javonte Williams the ball. And the Eagles played a good game as well. It's in Denver. I think they're very similar teams. And again, when it's very close like this, when it's 2 similar teams, you give me 3 points, I'm going to take the 3-point dot. I don't care about the altitude. I do think the Eagles are slightly better than Denver. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt here. I like the Eagles +3. And lastly, but not leastly, just talking about the Chiefs, they're 2-7 against the spread this year. They were awful against the spread last year. Somehow they're favored by 2.5 I think it's in Vegas. I believe it's in Vegas. Somehow they're favored by 2.5 points. 2.5 points. Maybe it is in Kansas City. I don't remember. Anyways, either way, 2.5 points. Week after week, they continue to be favored and they continue to not cover. And I don't understand. I compared them to the Clemson of the NFL. I'm watching college basketball. I will start adding I'm going to start adding college basketball bets to Friday night lines on a weekly basis pretty soon. Just got to get a feel for the action and the players and the teams. So I don't like to give it out too early. I don't want to look like an idiot because I haven't gotten to watch the teams, but the Chiefs shouldn't be favorites. I have to take the Raiders. I'm going to keep betting the Raiders. The Chiefs and the Clemson Tigers in college football, they're the same team. Vegas just thinks they're going to just bounce out and be great out of nowhere. So they keep favoring them and then they keep not covering. That's what the Chiefs are right now. They're not a good football team. They're a pretty bad football team. As I just talked about, Mahomes was actually statistically worse than Jordan Love last week. They did not cover that game. That was the game to cover. That was it. And I don't understand what's wrong with them, but the Raiders are going to beat the Chiefs because there's nothing telling me right now the way the Chiefs are playing that they have anything in order. Maybe they'll flip a switch at some point, but right now I just don't think so. I thought that for the last 4 or 5 weeks. I'm done thinking that. If they're going to keep favoring the Chiefs, I'm going to keep betting the opposite team. Bet the Raiders +2.5 and bet it confidently. Don't be nervous. Bet it confidently. They are what you see right now. They're a bad football team. All right? That's it. Those are all my picks. I have 13 picks this week. That might be a record for me because I want to give you guys a bunch of winners to make up for what I've been doing, especially in the NFL. We're going to win some college football. We're going to try. We're going to hope. We're going to pray. I can't even be positive about the fucking NFL because I've been so bad. But you know what? It is what it is. You gamble through it. That's one of my mottos. Gamble through it. Have a couple of beers. Live bet if you got a live bet. Go down that rabbit hole. Nothing better than get angry and live betting throughout the day. It's a good way to either make your money back or just make it worse. But it's fun. At least you have fun doing it. We're gambling. We're having a good time. We got another comment. Apparently, I love the Vikings. I'm a big Packers fan. That's well known. But I can't be biased when it comes to gambling. This brings up a good point. I cannot be biased. I need to take all my biases, except for the Green Bay Packers. I always bet them, but they continually cover the spread. So whatever. It's a successful thing. Always bet the Packers, but take out biases. I will bet the Bears if I have to. I will bet the Vikings if I have to. I will bet. I'm a Nebraska fan. I'll bet Wisconsin if I have to. I'll bet Oklahoma if I have to. If it's the right bet, I will bet it. Okay? Got to take biases out there. You play the spread. You don't play the team. That's how you become a really, really bad gambler, which I have been. But at least I leave biases out it. Thanks for joining me. Let's win some fucking money. And cheers.